live stream. Today I'm going to be getting ready to go to work, but I do have a new dress. It's orange. I don't know how I feel about orange. People say that I look good in orange. It's not one of my favorite colors. My mom says orange is my color, but I don't know. But anyway, that's the kind of orangey tropical vibes we're going for today. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so first thing, my skin is prepped. I'm using a new facial oil, which is super hydrating. I do really like that oil. I got it for free in a beauty box, but it's really nice. I like it a lot. So going in with the Sun Bum again. This is the Daily Gel SPF 50. Just a little bit. I do like this because it's clear and it kind of doubles as a primer. I will be using a primer today just because my skin is super slick from a facial oil that I'm using. So I'm going to be going in with a primer today too. But I did apply my skincare maybe like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago or so. So it should be pretty absorbed as it's gonna get. But it just makes my skin feel so good. And I feel like I don't know, it's just super hydrating. I may have put a little bit too much sunblock. So I dyed my brows yesterday and they looked super crazy, but today they already look better. So when you dye your brows at home, they're gonna look a little weird for like the first day, but then it gives you just like a super natural like tint. So I like that. Okay. So now that that's rubbed in, we are gonna go in with a primer. I'm gonna use the last bit of my That Gal. This is a face brightening primer. This is discontinued, so I'm trying to just use this to finish it. It was a popular primer for a long time. It does come out pink, so it kind of helps to brighten up a little bit, but my skin is already naturally flushed, so I didn't really use this a lot, but I'm just trying to get rid of it now. Trying to finish the last little bit of it so I can move on to another product. It does feel really good on the skin. It's hydrating. And then there's the before and after with that primer. Primers for the summer are a little bit tricky for me because I do have combination oily skin in the summertime, so I try and use a primer that's not gonna add to that. Okay, so that's rubbed in. And then where is my eyelid primer? Where is it? Here it is. There's my prime time. I did want to use another one today. Here it is. It's so small, I can't find it. It's a little sample of the Urban Decay, the primer potion. And this primer's okay. It gets the job done. But I do notice that my eyelids do crease a little bit towards the end of the day with this one. So it doesn't replace my Benefit Prime Time, but it's okay. I mean, it's not my favorite. I do have other primers to try, so once that's done, I'll be moving on to something else. Okay, let that dry down. Let's apply a little color corrector while we're waiting. This is the Neutrogena color corrector. Try and fix those dark circles. Taking my Real Techniques little spongy. I do like this sponge because you don't have to wet it before using it. And it blends everything in really quickly. So I hope they don't discontinue this. I have a feeling they will though. I don't think it's as popular as they were expecting it to be. But there, everything's blended in. That was super fast. And everything blends in really nicely and evenly. So I do like that. Okay, so the inspiration for the eye look today is like, I'm trying to do like sunset vibes, like summer, beachy, tropical-y vibes. The dress is orange, so I'm trying not to do like too much orange. But we'll see. Let's see what we're gonna do. I'm thinking like pinks and purples and maybe a blue. I don't know. We'll see. I also do want to use more of my ColourPop palette in my little Toy Story one. I just got it. And the colors inside are so pretty. So a red might be good. Like red and orange, that goes together. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a true plan for this eye look. But I am going to go in with just a base eyeshadow color. I'm going to go in with this nudie color up here. And just blend that into my whole eyelid. And drag it up. So that's just going to be a base. For my shadow to go on top of. Okay, so that one, we're pretty much done with that, I think. Well, I don't know. There's some nice colors in here. We'll keep that open. This is the palette I was thinking of using. It's the Natasha Denona Peak palette. And that orange is calling me. Okay, let's just go for it. I'm going to use a smaller brush for this. I'm going to go right in the center with that orange. Okay, same thing on this side. Did a little bit more on that eye than on this one, so I'm gonna have to add to this one. Okay. It's about even. So now I'm thinking I'm gonna go in with a purple shade, like a very, very deep purple, or like almost like purpley brown. I'm just trying to see. Brown would be just nice as well, which is what I may end up doing. Okay, here we're gonna use this one. This is color Sith Lord from my ColourPop Star Wars palette. And then just wipe off my brush a little bit. I just wipe it off on the back of my hand. Super pigmented. That's the thing with these ColourPops. A little goes a long way. Okay. So grab a little bit more for this side. My brush still had quite a bit of orange on there, so it's kind of not blending as nicely as I would have liked. But trust the process. Okay, so we're done with that. For the inside, I kind of want to do, obviously, shimmer. I'm thinking about using this shade, that right there, that golden one. And then I'll probably just grab another brush for the inner corner. Let's grab a little shimmer. Let's grab a little more. Okay. Moving on to the other eye. Okay. I think I want just a little bit more right in here. Okay. Okay, so now I think what I'm gonna do is I kind of don't like how you can kind of see the line separation here, so I'm just gonna lightly blend this to just ombre it in a little bit more. This side's not as bad, but I will just do a little bit more. Buffing of that. Probably just looks a little bit more cohesive. And you can't see like the lines so sharply. So, okay, we're almost done with that. Now I'm gonna do concealer. Going in with the same brush I used yesterday, that Real Techniques. I like it because it's angled. Okay. That brightens up that eye area a little bit. And then I do drag it on the sides of my nose a little bit. Okay, so this part I'm gonna clean up in just a little bit. I just wanted to do that bottom concealer so that I can start doing some shadow on the bottom. I think what I'm gonna do is just go in with similar shades, but just the shimmery version. So that top purple, I'm gonna be using this one. What's on my upper lid right now is a very matte shade, and then I'm just adding a shimmery one on the bottom. So I kind of want to do the same thing with the orange. If I have a shimmery orange, which I think I do somewhere in one of these palettes. I think it's this one. So we're gonna go in with this shimmery right here. It's really not an orange, but it's close enough. It's like a corally color. Just blend that in there. Okay. And then that inner golden color, I'm gonna go in, I think I'll just go in with the same gold. So that gold is the same on the top and the bottom. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go in with a little Q-tip and some makeup remover. And clean these lines up a little bit. Okay, and then with the dry side of the Q-tip, I just go back in and try and absorb as much of that oil as I can. You can also use micellar water for this. But what I have in my drawer is makeup remover, so that's what I use. Okay. And then I'm gonna go back in. Actually, I'll let that dry down a little bit. Let me start putting some of this stuff away. Before I go in, I'm gonna go in with, I wanna do a brown liner, but my brown is kind of drying up. We'll see how, if I can get anything out of it today. But we're gonna go back in with the concealer and just reapply where we took the eye makeup off and just reapply a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit there in this corner. A little bit more on this side. This is one of the main reasons why I got this brush, is so that I can kind of sharpen up these lines a little bit, because this brush is angled and it's not flat. I do have flat concealer brushes, but they don't, I don't know, they just, the flat concealer brushes I'm talking about, you know what, I just got rid of them actually because I never use them, but they look, I do have one in here, I think, somewhere. They look flat, kind of like this. That doesn't work for me for applying concealer, so I got rid of all those brushes because I never use them. Okay, now we're gonna go in with our tinted moisturizer. Blend that in. Gonna go back in with my sponge. I'm getting places slowly. These little hairs, always in the way. Okay. Just drag a little bit down the neck. Okay, I think that's about as blended as it's gonna get. Okay. Now we're gonna go in with a little bronzer. Maybe, maybe not. I guess I'll just use my Hoola, which is what I used yesterday. So I'm using the Benefit Hoola powder. This is their bronzing powder. And then I do apply it with the brush that it comes in. That comes with the box. I have the old Hoola. When the Benefit blushes used to come with a brush. So I put a little on my 5 head. Make sure to get it in that hairline. And then drag down into the temple just a little bit. And then kind of come up with that tinted moisturizer to blend it in. This is why I love the brush that it comes with, is because it's really narrow and it lets me be really precise with where I want the bronzer to go. And I'm using my bronzer as contour. And I just follow my natural shadowing of my face. So kind of make like a little triangle, a little pointy triangle. Blend that in a little bit more. It's always so crazy how it looks on camera versus how I see it in my mirror. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Almost forgot. The jawline. Okay. Okay, so now we're done with that. I think for blush for today, I'm gonna kind of match the eyeshadow and go in. This may be a huge mistake. It may be too much orange once the outfit is complete and once the dress is on. But with another Benefit blush, the Butterfly, this is a super, super orangey color. I use this more in the autumn. But I'm just gonna go in with a little dusting of it. Yeah, that's about as much as I'm gonna do on this side. And then my eye looks crazy red. Woke up with a little bit of a red eye on that side. So same thing, I just very, very lightly press this into my box and then apply it. Kind of blend it into that line of bronzer that I have. So it's just a super, super natural little dose of color. Okay, so we're done with that. Now I do want to go in with a highlighter. Which one should I do? Oh, I got a new highlighter yesterday. I should use that one. I got a NARS highlighter. I have a hair or something here. Okay. I should use that one. I just got it yesterday. But I think I'm going to go in with the Dandelion. Another Benefit. Another Benefit product. This is the highlighter. I promise you, I'm not sponsored by Benefit. I used to be a really big fan of Benefit. I guess I kind of still am. I still buy products from them, but I'm not as into them as I was like right when I started getting into makeup, like in my late teens, mid-teens. Because they started having a lot of their products start to be made in China for a little bit. Some of their products still are made in China. But I think now they're making more of them in like France and Italy and Germany and Korea. But for a little bit they were making a lot of their stuff in China, and I don't want to pay top dollar for cosmetics and have it be made in China. So I kind of went away from them when they started doing that. Okay. So just a little bit of highlighter. And then also what I'm going to do with this highlighter is I'm going to take a little bit of a little matte shadow. I probably will go back in with that Natasha Denona. But let me check my other palettes to see what I got. I have so many palettes now. Too many options. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back in with the Natasha Denona. That nude shade. Take a little dab of that and just carefully blend it in right under my eyebrow. So it doesn't make it look so naked. There's the before, here's the after. So it just kind of smooths that skin over. But I don't really like this naked look up here. Okay, so that's blended in now. And then what I'm gonna do is take some highlighter and just blend it in right where I put that shadow just now. So just a tab, just a little dab of highlighter. Okay. In the summertime, I don't really use a ton of highlighter, so I will stop doing that as it gets warmer because it's hot. I live in the San Fernando Valley in California, which is desert, basically. So today it's not hot, but in the summer times we do have temperatures that are like 120, 115 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm already shiny out there. I don't need highlighter. But today is a mild day, so I did put some highlighter on today while I still can. Okay, so for eyeliner, I'm gonna see if I can get any more of this brown eyeliner. This is the Physicians Formula liner. And I'm just gonna go ahead and apply and I'm just following the little path of my eyeshadow that I laid down already. Okay, and I'm very careful to not disturb the makeup that I just did on the bottom. Let's see if we can get any more out of here. Let's see. So eyeliner is hard for some, it's effortless for others. It's definitely not effortless for me. But just remember that when you're doing your eyeshadow or your eyebrows or whatever, that your eyes are sisters, not twins. So they're not going to be identical. It took me a long time to realize that. I need to stop trying to fix things when they get messed up to match the other side, because they're not going to match. They're going to be different. I'm just going to fan this down a little bit. Okay, that should be good. Because then if I open my eyes too soon, I'll get that eyeliner up in my crease, and then I get mad. So let's just take a second, keep your eyes down, let that dry, let that set. So I am gonna now take some setting powder and just press it on my under eye. Right where I want it to be the most concentrated is where I'm gonna just press it on with that brush. Then with my big fluffy brush, I hate doing this. It's so messy. I try not to breathe that stuff in. But I'm gonna do just setting powder everywhere. Try not to breathe it in. trust it on my face, but I don't trust it in my lungs. My eye looks so crazy. It doesn't look that bad in the mirror. Okay. So now that that's pretty much blended in, put that away. I hate setting powder, but it does make a difference in your makeup look. It's gonna absorb all that shine. It's gonna give you a very matte finish. It's gonna make your makeup stay in place longer. If I didn't believe in it, I would not be using it, but I do believe in setting powder. So now let's do some mascara. Gonna go in with my fave, my YSL Lash Clash. And then you have to be so careful not to touch your lashes to your eyelid. And my lashes are very long, so I've kind of already mastered how to do that without having them touch the makeup that I just spent so long doing. But mascara does take me forever. I don't know why it takes me so long. Now the bottom. And then I don't do a fake lash for my everyday look. I do it for special occasions, but not just for every day. I'm gonna just go in with a little brow gel. This is the Kosas. The Kosas brow gel isn't a stronghold. It's just enough to give your brows like a more groomed appearance, but this is not going to hold your brows in place all day. And then I did just dye my brows yesterday, so I don't need to add any color to them yet. And the color's still pretty fresh. Okay. Forgot where that went for a second. Okay, now we're gonna do lips, and then we are done, I think. Yeah, I think we're done. I already know what lip combo I'm gonna do for this. It's gonna be the Super deep. This is in shade, what shade is this? Lazy Sunday. This is a Revlon liquid lipstick. These last all day, but this is kind of similar to the eyeshadow shade I have, so and then if you guys are new to my live streams, I don't line, like, do my lipsticks all the way to the corner of my mouth. I shorten my lips, but that's because my smile naturally goes down, and so to prevent accentuating that, I guess, I shorten my lips, but it keeps them from going down and giving me that frowny look. So let's do a little setting spray. Or a lot of setting spray. And then let's take the hair down. And then I'm gonna go change. But that's today's look. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.